Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you from Georgia. What the heck am I doing in Georgia? I'll give you one hint. That's right, to find out what I'm doing, stick around. Well, that's right, I'm here at Amicalola Falls State Park. And what's going on here? That's right, ATKO, they call it ATKO here. You may know it as Appalachian Trail Kickoff 2019. There's all kind of hiker community here, and I'm excited about being here, excited about the folks I'm going to meet. Hope to get a chance to interview a lot of them, and that's what I'm going to do. All right, follow me along. Okay, so I know the light here is bad, but I did want to, for y'all to get kind of a touch of what goes on here at, they call it ATKO here at night. And I'll go over here. It's going to get dark. You won't be able to see me, but basically they've got a tent city over here, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in the morning. But they've got a fire going over here, and they've got some people who have come up, and they've just they're feeding people. Tomorrow he's going to be bringing different cobblers and homemade ice cream on a hand crank churn. And today they fed chili and vegetable beef soup and everything. And so it's just really cool. And we were up at the listening to Miss Janet, and we got done listening to Miss Janet, and they said, hey, down at Tent City, there's food, and they had the shuttle, the hiker trash shuttle that'll bring you down here. I drove down there, but anyway, so it's been pretty cool evening so far. Met a lot of folks who know me from the channel, and just enjoyed being a part of this community. Met Hiking Sailor and Thumper and Gary and Janet, and just some all kind of people. So it's been really cool so far. If you didn't get an opportunity to come, definitely come next year. It's a good place for the hiker community to come together and just be a part of, get together in mass with the part of the community that you don't typically get together in mass with. You might get 1 or 2, 3 or 4, something like that on the trail, but not a whole bunch of us here. And so everybody's great, everybody's friendly. And so I'm going to turn this around and give you a little taste of the campfire, and then I'm not going to go right up to the campfire. I don't respect people's privacy, but did want you to see that. So I just kind of wanted you to kind of get the flavor of the conversation around the campfire. I didn't want to show anybody's faces out of their privacy. I didn't ask their permission, didn't want to interrupt their conversation. But it is kind of interesting to hear everybody talk and just be a part of the bigger hiker community. All right, so this is Tent City in the daytime. Hey there, how you doing this morning? And coffee's going on the fire pit out there, and I'm told that probably maybe a little more people here than last year, and but Saturday is kind of a bigger day. There'll be more folks coming in, so looking forward to that. Hey, I'm here with Moon Pie. Y'all remember from last year? Hey. And this is probably the first through hiker I've actually had on the channel, so that's pretty cool. Just ran into her here. We are at Appalachian Trail Kickoff 2019. They call it ATKO here. That's easier to say, so I'll call it ATKO. But anyway, it was great. We've just been catching up on just talking various stuff. We haven't talked about gear yet, believe it or not. It's coming. It's coming. But we have been just developing a friendship and developing part of that community that all of us love doing. So one of the questions I had for you, Moon Pie, was what's it like being back here again? I know that you started from Deep Gap and you kind of jumped around a little bit at the first, but
this is kind of still the jumping off point. So
it is.
What's it like being back here?
It's awesome, and yeah, I don't live far from here. I'm only about a mile from here, so this is sort of like my home.
Yeah.
And my home on the AT, if you will, or near the AT.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I love coming back. I love to see hikers starting, and like we were just saying, there's a bunch of hikers starting today. This weekend is a peak time, so it's awesome. It's awesome to see people get their journey beginning.
You obviously had a tramley while you're, and that probably changed from time to time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But now you're kind of around the hiker community, a bigger group of folks. How is that the same, or how is that different?
It's a little different because this group here is people that have hiked, people that want to hike, people that are section hiking. So it's just the bigger hiker community, and it's really cool. I love it. I love being around hikers. Well,
one of the things that the guy, and I don't know his name, but one of the classes, it was the first class up there, the first program, was talking about the hiker community.
Odie.
Odie
from Hiker Yearbook. Yeah,
okay.
that's Odie.
I didn't know that's who that was. I came in, got here late.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was talking about the hiker community. But one of the things, did you hear? Were you here for that? Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that really, well, one, you know, I'm big on building the hiker community, particularly on helping, through hikers getting to pushing them through, whether they're no-bow or so-bow or flip-flopping, whatever, just people keeping them pumped up. But, that's what I'm trying to do, and just giving them support from people back home.
And you're doing a great job at that.
Thank you. I appreciate
that.
Yeah. But one of the things that really touched me up there was he was talking about the number of hikers that have took their own lives. And I'm assuming he was talking about off of the trail when they got home.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about, post-hike depression.
Obviously, you're not one of those, but can you understand what he's talking about?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Actually, I did a video on through hike, like post-trail depression, and I mean, for me, it's more post-trail blues. It was a challenge, and I finally kind of turned the corner on that. But it's real. I mean, for some people, it's like everything you have goes into that hike, and you come home, and it's such a stark contrast of life on the trail to the craziness of life at home and the pressures and the obligations, and I can see it can be very difficult for some people. So it's something to be aware of, and something that I really hope that anybody who's struggling with will get help.
So what do we do? He was talking about he didn't know what we can do, but there's something that should be done. What's some of the first steps we could do? And obviously we're doing that now by being part of the community and stuff, and I'm trying to do that by building the community. But what are some other things you think that we could do?
Yeah, I mean, people say to reach out within your community at home, but that's hard because if they haven't hiked, they don't necessarily understand.
Right.
So if you do have a tramley or friends that you've made on the trail, I think just reaching out to them and sharing how you're feeling as you're going through that sort of re-entry process is really helpful, because they can understand what life was like on the trail. They can understand the re-entry process and kind of help you work through some of those challenges that you might be having.
Good. Well, those are some great thoughts. When he said that just really touched me, because I'm so into helping build the community, but I hadn't really thought of what we could do as far as helping people with that mental aspect. I'm kind of on the other side of building it up with people being through hikers and building those people up, but I hadn't really considered what it's like after the trail. And you see a lot of people videos like yours we've seen that talks about blues or post through hike depression and stuff, and I guess the rest of the world doesn't understand that. But when you've done something that means so much to you, and now you just 1 minute you're on the trail, and the next minute you summit, and then bam, you turn around and you walk away from the sign at Katahdin, and you're done, and you're like,
now what? Now what?
Because for 6 months, this was my life. So
and it was a simple life, a simple, plain, easy. I mean, not easy, but you know what I mean.
But
different.
Now you got to go back to the matrix, and you're like, oh gosh, do I really want to get back into that?
Exactly.
Or do I want to stay out on the trail somewhere?
Right. Job bills, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, they're all still waiting on you when you get back.
Unfortunately, so. Or you could do like a guy here who's yo-yoing, just turn around and go back the other way.
Now, see, Craig Main's already out there. Who's here that's yo-yoing?
I don't remember his name, but I heard him talking about it last night. He went Sobo and just got back here, and he's turning around and heading north again.
Okay.
I
don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Wow, he must have started. I wonder when he started, because if he already back down here. He must have split it up, because Baxter doesn't open until what, June or?
Yeah, he must have started probably in June. I would bet. So Yeah, pretty cool though.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, everything,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
it is good to meet you,
Good to meet you too, my new friend.
Make your acquaintance. And I may be calling you sometime for some advice,
sure,
particularly as like I was saying before, I'm on my 8-year
training.
Yeah, 8-year training until I can retire and
awesome.
go. So I may be calling you for some advice on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, guys, we are here with Zack. Zach or Zachary?
Zack.
We're here with Zack, and that's his real name. That's not his trail name. He's going to let the trail name him. And so we're here at the arch. He has not stepped through yet. He is getting ready to start. So, Zack, just tell everybody, what is it like to finally be here?
Well, I've been planning to do this since 2014, and now I finally get the opportunity in life, so I'm excited. It almost seems unreal because the other years prior to this, something came up. But I'm really excited. I've been planning to do it for a while, and now I'm finally going to get to do it.
Man, that is awesome. You've been planning it for how long?
Since 2014.
2014, so that's 5 years. Oh, that is so cool. You've been like just saving up, or?
Well, I got out of the Marine Corps, and my wife's in the Navy, so just with her moving around.
Okay.
And it's
all right.
well,
thank you for your service, and thank her for her service. I was in the Army for several years, so I appreciate that. But in any case, well, I won't keep you. I don't want to spoil the moment for you, but thanks for just telling us a little bit what it's like. I know it's got to be surreal for you, and one of these days, I got 8 years to retirement, so one of these days I'll be doing the same thing. So I'm going to plan for 8 years, and till then I'm going to section hike and just enjoy living through y'all. Have you got a YouTube channel or Instagram or anything?
No, sir.
No, you're not? Okay, well, we'll be supporting you spiritually then the whole way.
Yep, thank
so
you.
Anyway, I appreciate it, and you have a good time and a good hike.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, all right, we are here again. I'm here with Thumper. And Oz over there, he's being shy. I mean, I know that's odd for him. Something's wrong with him. We're going to check his temperature. Nope, he's back here again, of course. And he's going to try to one-up us again like he does everybody else. But we're here having a great time, getting to know each other, developing friendship, and it's it's just neat to see people on social media, but then to actually get to meet them in the real world. And they're actually better people in the real world than they are on social media. So next year, folks, you need to come to ATKO here and get to meet great people like this right here and help build the hiker community. And so it's been real fun, and I feel like I've developed a lifelong friendships here. So I just wanted to ask them. I know they've probably already put out videos, but I just want to ask them a few questions and share with y'all that. The wind's probably kicking up here, but hopefully you can hear this. Thumper, tell us about what it's like to be here at the Arch again.
Oh, this is great. We started our hike, our through hike, March 19th of last year. It's now what, March 2nd, 3rd, and I completed it. My last 34 miles a week just a few days ago, and we're going to do the first 120 miles again for laughs. And 3 things I want to say about my 3 hike that really stood out. I'm really proud of, and you can try this too. One, I never had a drop box. I got all my food en route. Another one was I never took any medications, no aspirin, no vitamin I or any of that stuff. And the other one is, don't try this at home, I never filtered my water.
He was crazy.
That's what's wrong with him now. If he'd have filtered his water, he'd be a lot calmer, that's for sure.
And one thing to note, blisters. Did you even have
Oh, that's
any?
right, never got any blisters. I did at the end of the trail. These are my oboes. These are my second set of shoes. I only used 3 pairs of shoes. My final pair of shoes were Solomon's, and they were half a size smaller. And I got these horrible calluses, not blisters, on each toe. And you can almost see where my toe wanted to escape out. But they're still wearable. And that's why I figured, hey, these got life on them. I'm going to wear. I got 700 miles out of these. 900? Anyway, a lot. And I'm going to try them again.
Oz, tell everybody what it's like to be here at the Arch again, where it all started.
Well, I talked about this on my other videos. The first 100 miles to Franklin will be the best part of your whole trip. Mainly because of all the people you meet. Like, the people are incredible here. It's not just the hikers, the maintainers you meet en route. This AT supporters, the AT kickoff. It's incredible. I just love this feeling.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always just been, that it's kind of odd that
it's something that grows on you the more you get around people like this, and you're just instantly accepted into the community. No matter what walk of life you came from, you could be unemployed or you could be a rocket scientist. It doesn't matter. Everybody here is on the same level, and so everybody accepts you. Everybody's got the same passion, and that's about hiking. And so, and even you go out there, like Oz said, you get out in the trail maintainers. Everybody's like, "Hey, have a great day," and the dude's toting a 75-pound chainsaw. And he's getting ready to go and clear those woods for you, and spend 6 hours doing it for nothing. But he's loving life, and so that type of emotions that people have and the way of thinking is just infectious, along with everybody. And the saying on the trail is that a bad day on the trail is better than a good day in the office, and that's so true. But most of the time, you don't really have a bad day. Now I know there are days that are not as nice as others. Because it's raining cats and dogs like the thru hikers this year have had for 17 days straight, and you're soaking wet. Everything you got's wet. But hopefully when things dry out, you can look back at that and go, yeah, man, I survived that and I kicked it. So anyway, guys, you guys are some of the folks that have gone out there and survived it and kicked it, and we just look up to you and living vicariously through your videos. And so I appreciate y'all taking the time to share with us what it's like being here, and just share more about building a hiker community.
And we're so silly. Canadians, right? We're doing it again.
Doing it one more time. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Nice to see y'all, and look forward to continuing our relationship.
Well, this weekend was a great weekend, and if I wanted to meet a lot of folks there, a lot of folks reached out to me ahead of time and said they specifically wanted to meet up, and I hate that I didn't get to meet those folks, and I apologize for that. It was just kind of a whirlwind time. I had some obligations back home that came up at the last minute that I wasn't aware of, and so I couldn't stay the whole weekend. I could only get up there on Friday, and I had to leave Saturday sometime around 2 o'clock or so. So I hate that I missed folks like that, but being there this weekend just really solidified my feelings about the hiker community. It's one thing for people to comment on your videos, and then for you to comment on theirs, and you dialogue through social media, but it's a completely different thing, obviously, to speak to people in the real world. But you find that people in the real world are just even better than the people that you knew from social media. And a lot of times you feel like that they should be jaded, and that you get to know people, and they're not the same people that comes across on social media. But maybe if I was with them for a week to 10 days, I might see things differently, but I hope not. But certainly in this case, I didn't, and it just solidified my feelings, developed what I hope will be a lot of lifelong friendships. And I look forward to hiking with folks and that I met this weekend, and other people that are through the channel and through social media, and I look forward to that. So it was good meeting all those folks and everybody that came up to me and spoke to me. I greatly appreciate that, and appreciate the good things and kind things you had to say to me, and that just spurs me on to continue doing what I'm doing. I didn't do a lot of interviews, not as many as I thought I would do, and I guess the main reason for that was I didn't want to become part of people's thru hikes. So I really only interviewed one thru hiker, and I almost regret doing that, but he seemed to be okay with it. But I didn't want to be part of the equation for him. I wanted him to look back at his thru hike, and as he stepped or she stepped through the arch, that I wouldn't be part of it, that it would only be about them. So I just chose after that one interview not to do anymore, because I just didn't want to insert myself into their dynamics of their trip, and I didn't want to take away from what was occurring in their life and with their hike at the time. So I did interview a couple thru hikers, and I wish I'd got a chance to do more. But I was glad that I did get to do that. Everyone's different, and that's the thing about the hiker community, is that we are all so different, and we come from different walks of life, had different upbringings. But once you get into the hiker community, and this is why I want to pull more people into it, once you get in the hiker community, once you're a part of it, and it doesn't take anything other than just showing up and start talking hiking or just being there, having those experiences, well, then you're just accepted into it. It's really like no other community that I've ever been a part of. Usually you have to kind of prove yourself in some type of community, but in this case, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing exactly the opposite, that you don't have to. The only way to not be a part of the community is to prove yourself, otherwise. And so I just hadn't seen that. So that's one of the things that I really love about it, and one of the things that I really enjoy most about being a part of this community, and it spurs me on again to just continue to do my part to help develop it, help build it along. One of the things that Odie touched on at his speech that he gave and his talk that he gave was that every year at least one thru hiker after his hike goes back home and commits suicide. And in some years that includes more than one person. And post-hike trail depression is real. Post-hike trail blues is real. And that's something that we need to do as a community to prevent those folks from taking their life. So I don't know what the first steps are other than what we're doing now, but I would love to have some comments about ideas about what folks in the hiker community think about, what direction do we need to go. We're not going to solve it all in one video. We're not going to solve it all overnight, but what direction do we need to go to help folks see that taking their life is not what needs to occur? And of course that goes in all walks of life, but particularly in the hiker community. What do we need to do to help people get past the hump of post-hike depression? So if you got some ideas or comments about that, I'd love to leave those down there. Odie, if you're listening, I'd love to get together with you sometime and talk about what we need to do and what the channel here can help you in your efforts to move that along and just prevent this from occurring to the next person. So I want to do my part and help as much as I can to prevent that from occurring, as well, of course, as continuing to build this hiker community. And that's one of the first steps that we do, is we continue to build it. So, and if you're listening to this, then you're part of that hiker community, and I greatly appreciate that. Well, that is it for my ATKO review. I hope to see y'all next year. If you did not go, you missed out on a great time and a great opportunity to just gel more with the hiker community. And there'll be some more opportunities this year. Of course, we'll have the trail days up in Damascus coming up, and we'll have the Flip-Flop Festival, and we'll have something going on up at Roan Mountain. I'll try to find some links and post those in the description section. But I hope to see y'all next year. I will be going to trail days. I hope to see y'all there. So look for me and come up and let's chat. And as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.